Hello, everybody. It's Jason Prigge for Coffee on the Coast on the Coolest Coast. Today, we are bringing you a special edition, a very important edition of Coffee on the Coast. And I want to bring in my special guest, Donna Firman from Prevent Suicide, Manitowoc County. And Donna, if you don't know Donna, Donna is a powerhouse in our community, and she helps a lot of nonprofits. And suicide prevention is one of her passions. And we're going to talk about the 9th annual Run Walk that's coming up. Donna, how you doing? Good afternoon.
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me, Jason. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to promote the cause here. And, you know, you sent me a few things, and I'm just going to bring something up here so that it's on the bottom of our screen while we're talking, because it's some important information. First of all, tell us a little bit about what Prevent Suicide Manitowoc County is for those of us that don't know.
Sure. Prevent Suicide Manitowoc County is a nonprofit organization whose focus is to educate and really bust stigma, is what I like to say, and lower the suicide rate in Manitowoc County to zero. Our main mission is to end suicide in Manitowoc County. It's very simple, but very poignant. And I personally will not rest until I see a zero suicide number in Manitowoc County.
So does Manitowoc County really have a suicide problem?
We do. In 2019, we had the second highest suicide rate in 12 years. And people are often very surprised by that. And that's largely because we don't talk about suicide. And so we tend to keep it a secret. We tend not to expose it, bring it out in the light. And so people don't know that we have a high suicide rate. We had 20 suicides in Manitowoc County in 2019. Now, I would like to report something very good news. We only so far, and I say only with trepidation, because we've had 2 suicide deaths in 2020 with 1. We are trending in the right direction in 2020 because we had more than 1 a month in 2019. So we're going in the right direction, but now is the time, in my opinion, to keep our foot on the gas, because the time to fix a problem is before it becomes an out of control problem. So we want to keep our foot on the gas. We want to keep educating people. We want to keep bringing resources to people, let them know how to prevent suicide before it happens, and keep busting stigma so people are talking about suicide and making it a health issue, a public health issue, instead of a moral issue, which is what we tend to do with suicide.
Yeah, you and I both are involved with both recovery and the mental health community, and a lot of times those disorders, really substance use disorder or mental health, it gets stigmatized in such a way where people don't want to talk about them. Back in the old days, my dad said, you know, I'll give you something really to cry about, or, you know, all these old ways of dealing with men don't show their feelings, men don't cry, you know, all these old things. And the Prevent Suicide Manitowoc County is really trying to smash that stigma out there so that people can start to talk about this as a health issue and not just an issue that, you know, somebody has every once in a while. We have so many people in our community that have found relief, have found hope in organizations like yours. Tell us a little bit about the event that's happening, how people can get involved in your organization, because I think it's a really great thing that a lot of people may not know about.
Sure. The 9th annual Walk Run for Hope is a walk run whose mission it is to bring awareness to the issue of suicide, to give a place for people to mourn and grieve and honor those that have been lost to suicide, and to raise money. And so with all of those 3 things in mind, we have decided this year to take our Run Walk virtual. We typically have more than 300 people attending the race, and we decided that that was perhaps a health issue this year. And so we've taken it virtual, and we're really proud of the progress that we've made. People can sign up at preventsuicidemanitowoc.com. It's right on the first page below the first page, and they can register by August 13th to get a t-shirt and some other cool swag that we'll have for them. And they can get a team together or walk individually, commit to walking a 5K or running a 5K with or without a team, and we'll take their pictures and post them on our website and on Facebook and honor them that way. So we're really excited to do that. But one of the things that I'm very thrilled about this year is because it's so important to us to create a space where we can honor people who have lost loved ones to suicide. We've done this virtually this year on our website by creating a remembrance wall. And we can have people go to the remembrance wall on our website and submit a picture and some words of honor and remembrance for the person that they've lost. And that will be a memorial for people to have up on our website to remember those that have been lost. And you don't have to be a walker or a runner to do that. Anybody in the public is welcome to join us in remembering people who have been lost to suicide. It's free of charge. It's just our way of giving back to the community and giving honor to the lives that have been lost to suicide.
Wow, that is really a great resource for folks. I know that myself personally, there are 6 people in my 46 years that I've lost to suicide, and 3 of those were in high school. And which brings up a point that I wanted to talk to you about. It was youth suicide, and how big of a problem is that in our area?
It's still a problem in our area. From 2010 to 2018, we lost 6 youths to suicide. It's a huge problem nationally in that it is the second leading cause of death among people, young people 10 to 24. So let me just say that again, age 10 to 24. We are finding 10-year-olds who are dying by suicide. That is tragic. It's sobering. And again, I find that it is a moral imperative that we do something in Manitowoc County before we have a problem that gets out of hand. At Prevent Suicide Manitowoc County, we're looking at taking proactive steps, especially this year when we have kids who are not in school, who are up in the air whether they're going to school or not. We don't know what the status is yet, who are living in families who might be suffering economic hardships, who are stressed and under pressure because of that. And so our kids are bearing the brunt of the COVID-19 disaster in a way that they are not really capable of coping. And we're finding that that is causing a lot of mental health issues nationally. So what happens nationally happens in Manitowoc. We can extrapolate that out. So we're finding that it's necessary to take a proactive approach with these young people. So this year, all proceeds for the walk run will go to programs that support youth suicide preventions. So that is our goal this year, is to give all the money away. All of the money will be given away, and it'll all go to youth suicide programs because we just think it's that important. And you know, how often does this happen in our culture where we have a tragedy and we think, gosh, if somebody would have done something about this a year ago, we could have seen it coming. And you know, we don't have a crystal ball, but we know that the mental health conditions that kids are living under are really tough right now. Really tough.
I know that firsthand. We have a young man at home who, you know, misses his friends sometimes and misses the interaction, and that can really wear down on a young person.
Yeah.
So if a parent, you know, thinks that maybe their child is going through some difficulties, how can they get screening? How can they get in touch with the resources that they need?
Well, the first thing that they can do is call their family physician. If they do not have a family physician, there are other community resources like Lakeshore Community Healthcare is one of them, that they do an excellent job at behavioral health screening, excellent. So that would be a resource that they can contact. They can call Prevent Suicide Manitowoc County for additional resources. They can look on our website for additional resources that are available. We just updated our website with more resources, and we're adding more on the regular as we uncover additional resources. So there's certainly resources available, and they should take advantage of those. But if they have a family physician, that's a good place to start for sure. That's an excellent place to start. And then they can kind of branch out from there. But I would say, Jason, the first thing that families should do is know the signs. We know the signs of, as parents, of flu, of chickenpox, of COVID. Now we know the signs, right? We should know the signs of suicide. So we can make good informed choices for our kids. And so those signs include things like talking about suicide. Those are the obvious, right? If your child is talking about, I want to die, I want to commit suicide, I want to do this, those are obvious signs. But more subtle signs are things like personality changes, sleeping too much or too little, withdrawal, reckless behavior, drug abuse, changes in sleep, as I've mentioned. Those kinds of signs, one of them alone doesn't necessarily mean that your child is thinking about suicide. But the way I describe it is when you stack them, one against the other, and you see a stacking effect of these behaviors, you probably have something to worry about, and you should seek help, and you should have a conversation with your child about what they're feeling.
Yeah, that's really, really good advice. You gave me a couple of graphics. One I threw up there just for a second. There's a national suicide prevention lifeline. I just wanted to throw up there. So if people feel like they need to call that, it is available for you. And that's a national number. So that'll connect them with somebody who they can talk to, correct?
Yes, and parents can call that line. If parents and guardians, if they're concerned about their young person, they can call that line, that number as well. And then a student, a young person could call that line as well. And I know you have the text number too. That text number is really good for students to call, that Hope line, 741-741, or text, I'm sorry. That's a really good line for a young person to call, because we know they like text.
Right. Let me get, hold on one second. We just got a little bit. There we go. I had to get that graphic off there. Sorry. So I wanted to hit on one more point here with you today too. Well, two actually. Sorry. Number one, I wanted to talk about who the sponsors are for this fantastic event. We have to give a shout out to these amazing people who actually put their financial and sweat equity into these type of events. So who do you want to thank today?
Seehafer News is our, Seehafer Broadcasting is our presenting sponsor, and they've just done such a great job with media outreach, and we can't thank them enough. And Holy Family Memorial, who has been just a wonderful sponsor to us, and really views suicide prevention as a public health concern that they're very involved with, and have supported us along the way. And so we'd like to thank both of those sponsors. We are still looking for additional sponsors, so anyone who's interested can get in touch with us at the website or the phone number that was up earlier, preventsuicidemanitowoc.com, and we would be happy to talk about a sponsorship package with them. And then also, Jason, we are having a very exciting silent auction the week of September 13th. And you can find that on Facebook. We have a package from the Packers that they donated. And so any business that is interested in donating silent auction package, we'd be happy to talk to you about that too. We have a Taste of Manitowoc package that's been donated that will be a lot of fun, and so we're looking forward to that too. The virtual thing is working out okay, actually. We're doing okay.
Yeah, yeah. It is a different year this year, and we all have
Yeah.
to juke and jive and be innovative in our approach to things. Speaking about being innovative, I wanted I was looking back at my notes here, and I didn't want to leave before we pass this up, and that is the QPR training. Can
Yes.
you talk a little bit about that? Because I think it's so important, and I know about it because we've discussed it before in other conversations, but can you tell the folks out there what exactly that is?
Yes, thank you for that. The QPR stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer. And it is an intervention for lay people to learn, meaning not healthcare professionals and people like that, for lay people to learn to intervene in a suicide crisis. And it's very similar to how you might learn CPR, or you might learn the Heimlich maneuver to save a person's life. While you may not be a healthcare professional, you can certainly perform CPR on somebody and save their life while they're having a heart attack. Likewise with QPR. So what happened is we have 5 really skilled trainers ready to go, and we were chomping at the bit and just about ready to roll out. And then we had a pandemic, and we kind of stalled for a while, and we're ready to roll out again. We have trainers who are can teach small groups in person, and we have trainers who can do online training. And the QPR Institute has given us permission to do online training for into the future as we see fit. So we have that available to us. So you can find more information about QPR training, which is appropriate for workplaces, for church groups, for service groups, for any organization that might be interested in suicide intervention training. You can find out more information on our website, which is on the screen. You can contact us by phone. You can look for it through the Chamber of Commerce. We'll have information about it. You can find out more information through the nonprofit organizations in Manitowoc County, and we'll be rolling that out very shortly, and we're very excited about it. Our goal is to train 5,000 people in Manitowoc County in QPR intervention.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Donna, I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. You and I both have a heart for this community, and a heart for recovery, and a heart for changing lives. And I really, just from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you so much for all your work with Prevent Suicide in Manitowoc County. And if anybody is struggling out there, please listen to my voice right now, and do not be ashamed, and get some help, and call the number on the screen, or get in touch with Donna, because the life you might save might actually be your own.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Donna, and I really appreciate you coming, and best of luck with the event.
Thank you. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do for us. Take care. Bye.